That's why I came on here, to connect with my community. Oh, I saw your friend is here, Chris Evie, and I've been following her. She's amazing. Hi, Richard. Chatter X is saying hi to everybody. I'm just here to connect. It's been a while. Hi, Richard. Hi, Richard. Um, it's been a while, and I've been watching you. I've been watching you all. Hi, Jay. Great to see you. Chris Resist is saying Evie is the best. Yes, highly recommend. And so are you, Chris. Love your lives. Love them. I love the work you're doing. How have I been? Thank you for asking. I feel better. It was a road. It was a road. I'm back. Arlene, thank you. Yes, I am feeling better. That's why I'm here. KD1 joined. Thank you. Hi, Joe. Thanks for joining. Yes, Chris, it's true. Your live streams are great. Hi, Donna. Great to see you. Evie is saying, "You guys are too kind. I'm actually a real bitch." Well, we love that here. We love that here. By the way, when I come on here, I think a lot of people think, "Oh my, I'm so kind, I'm so loving." But then on the notes and in the posts, I'm a real bitch too. We have to be. Are you kidding me? We have to be right now. We gotta be whatever ways we can describe to be fearful, angry, courageous, strong, not taking no shit, ready for anything. Bring it on, motherfuckers. You're a rager, Evie. I am too. And if you look in my bio, the first word is enraged. This is my state of being. Yes, I can also be peaceful, but I am enraged about the state of the world. So, I'm going to read your comments and respond. Arlene, I hear you. She's saying she rejects patriarchal slurs for women. A bitch is a female dog, and female dogs are badass. Okay. Some people call themselves cunts. That's like a term of endearment in certain places. So, anyway, we all have our own preferences. Chris is saying, I love the difficult women. Difficult women get shit done. Let's just say women get shit done. Can we say that? Can we say women get shit done? I'm a therapist, and I got to tell you, like, I hear kind of very globally, and I think a lot of people do, that women get all the shit done that nobody else is fucking thinking about. Women get the shit done that nobody asked them to do. So women get shit done, and women, we get our hands dirty. We'll clean up shit, we'll clean up vomit, we'll clean up piss. We're the ones doing it. We're the caretakers. When people are really sick, we put ourselves in harm's way. So women, we get shit done. That's actually that's I think I like that. Women, we get shit done. It rings a bell. To immigrants, we get the job done. Which is one of my favorite songs. And I saw Hamilton. So over the last 4 or 5 months, I wasn't well. I wasn't well here, especially right here. I had a very sore neck, and it became debilitating at one point. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't move well. I was very stiff, and so I threw time and energy and love at my neck, and I got some acupuncture, and I got some very deep tissue lymphatic drainage, massage, myofascial release. It really just was muscular tension. And why? Because of all this. My body had been very constricted. And especially over the winter was a deep freeze. I was in Jersey, and I couldn't get outside a lot. So my body was in really bad shape, and I had a hard time coming on and doing these live streams because I just didn't feel well. And I was very tired. So I am wanting to be back. I wanna do some live streams with you guys. Um, I've invited some people to do live streams with me, and, I want to do more, and including, Chris, you and I talked about it once, Evie, I was thinking, "Yeah, we should do a live stream." The last live stream I did was with Jackie A, and, it was a wonderful experience and learning opportunity for me. I love talking to you guys. You guys are the ones that keep me going. You guys are the ones that keep me grounded in reality. When I read your articles, when I see your live streams, when I read your notes, this is what keeps me able to move ahead every day. I love my work. I'm a therapist. I love what I do. But I'm in the role of helping people a lot, and I need help too. And so, I'll be honest, Substack is a big place where I get help because the research and the, ideas and the thoughts and the opinions and the brilliance of this community gives me hope. A lot of hope. Lot of hope. I do not get that amount of hope from Blue Sky. I get it here on Substack. And I was so glad because about a year ago, my Blue Sky account was hacked and suspended for, like, 10 days, and somebody had, like, said once before, like, "Oh, there's really good articles and stuff on Substack and people talking about some of the same things that I was." So, I came over to Substack last August. It's been about a year now, and, I'm so grateful. I'm so very grateful. Um, so thank you. Thank you, everybody, for all your work, what you do, sharing it, your courage. Look, we put our faces on here. We live in a goddamn surveillance state. And yet we do have to put our faces on here. We do have to more than ever. We have to more than ever tell people where we stand because that is what allows other people to have the courage to say where they stand. And I think that's one thing we're seeing in the United States right now is, people they're being forced now for the first time maybe to really choose like what feels like sides. Now, my side is not Republican or Democrat. My side is against both of these corrupt parties. I'm just going to put that right out there. After the election of November of 2024, and I saw the way that the Democrats did not even make a peep about any of the irregularities, shall we say. I realized like, oh, oh, they don't actually really disagree with the outcome then. Um, and then I started to learn so much more about the influence of the pro-Israel lobby. I knew about the corporate influence, but I don't think I knew quite as much about the power of the influence of the pro-Israel lobby, the relationship between Israel and the USA, as much as then. I'm gonna say I'm one of those people who I didn't really even know because I was a brainwashed, propagandized American about. I'm just gonna be really honest. It's embarrassing the history of Israel and Palestine and Gaza and the West Bank, and, I think that's what October 2023 did for a lot of people, is it made people have to, learn things that they weren't taught, and by the way, I grew up in the '70s and '80s and '90s, and, like, history our US history, it's all made up, everything is fucking made up, like, I was very conditioned to not ask certain questions, not give a shit about certain things, be tuned out. Yes, I was always politically active, but the Middle East and Israel and Palestine, like, no, like, it wasn't an area of expertise. I never learned it. And so I think that after 2024 and Kamala not really contesting the election and then me saying like, what the fuck is going on? Then I realized, oh, it's this relationship that we have, the United States with Israel. And then I started to realize, oh, it's both parties. And in fact, not only is it both parties, the Democrats actually receive more, more millions. It's only maybe a couple more millions but they do actually technically receive more funding from the pro-Israel lobby than the Republicans. And so then I thought, well, shit, like, if they're taking the same fucking money, that must mean they have the same fucking agenda. And guess what? They do. And so then we've been able to see it. We've been able to see it when we saw the genocide in Palestine live streamed on Instagram, and Congress and Joe Biden were sending bombs to drop on a tiny, tiny urban area full of children. So that's when like the veil fully came down for me. Now in terms of rigged elections, that veil came down with the Bush versus Gore 2000 election. So I tapped out for a while after that because I was just so disgusted because then I saw us invade Iraq and all the shit that came with that and the surveillance state, and then Obama was elected, so we had that sort of like relative period of what felt like normalcy. And so like that was after I saw a rigged election with Bush v. Gore, and so I was like, fuck you to everybody. But then with like Trump coming on the scene, I got heavily involved again politically in my community, and this was in New York City at the time. And but then after the 2024 election, I feel like now I'm tapped out again a little bit on organizing, campaigning, sending money to Democrats. Like I'm done. That is done. That I will send money to causes. I will send money for mutual aid, but giving money to elections and Democrat, like I am done. And I left the party and then joined unaffiliated. Now I'm in Virginia. I just moved and I have to get my ID so I can register to vote. I will vote, but look, for example, in Virginia, now I'm new to Virginia. Look at my fucking governor, man. Abigail Spermberger. Abigail Spermberger. She was, I know I'm saying it wrong. It's on purpose. She um is a neo-lib like a lot of these other Democratic governors and whatnot. I'm gonna try to see if anyone's commenting because I'm realizing I'm kind of going on and on here. Oh, hi, Margaret. Great. Hi. Great to see you. Blessin' K Joy is here. I didn't see your message yet. Oh, he's saying read my stories. Okay, I will. KD1. I'm grateful for you all because in real life, most people still seem to just think it's distasteful to talk about politics, which just makes me despondent beyond belief. I'm grateful for everybody too. Thanks for, affirming that and also sharing your appreciation for a community where you can talk about politics. Hi, Emmett. So good to see you. I was saying how much to everybody before, how much I love their live streams, their articles. I'm such a big fan, Emmett, and thank you so much for your work. Stefan, great to see you. KK joined, Doug Myers joined. Yeah, if you guys want to comment anything, of course, I'll read your comments. I'll respond. I just popped on today a little bit to say hi and reconnect after a long time of not being able to come on to a live stream. And also to just say that if it wasn't for this community, I wouldn't really be able to like maybe put one foot in front of the other every day, for real, because I would be feeling crazy. That's what it would be. And I don't say that lightly, and I'm not saying it to be disrespectful. I work in mental health, but I guess what I mean is I wouldn't feel grounded in reality. That's what I should say. And for that, I wouldn't be able to function because if I wasn't feeling grounded in reality, I wouldn't be able to know what's what. I wouldn't be able to know right from wrong. I wouldn't be able to know how to help people if I'm not grounded in reality. So that's what I get from coming to Substack is people who understand what the fuck is going on, and not only that, who will dive really deep into, oh my gosh, the research around the Epstein child rape, sex trafficking network, of course, all of the stuff going on with Israel and, the merger of our military and, this military war industrial complex, essentially. Um, Chris Resist is saying, connecting with community is very regulating, and we are all a little more dysregulated during the difficult time. Oh, you nailed it. I love the way you said that. I love the way you said that. We actually, as human beings, we need other human beings to regulate our human body and our central nervous system. So I couldn't agree more. Hi, Greta. Thank you for joining. Oh, Evie, say goodbye. Bye, Evie. Hope to see you again. Chris Resist is saying we have to talk about politics. We have to have the hard conversations. Absolutely. Hi, Tom Turgy. Thanks for joining. Emmett said, "What up?" Hi, Elwin. Thank you for joining. Back in the feminist beginnings of the feminist movement, there was a saying that I like to share and continue to say, which is the personal is political, right? Because I think there were differentiations that's personal. You don't have to talk about that. Like abortion. That's personal. Yep. Oh, religion. That's personal. You don't have to talk about that. So um the personal is political. So making but that's a great saying. But then we have to always help break it down. What does that really mean? It means that every single thing that affects us here in the country or the world is determined through political systems. And very unfortunately, most of them are controlled by the wealthy individuals of that country. And in countries where they really have movements towards sharing power and resources, this US imperialist regime comes in, creates war, and changes the regime. Right? So, like, most governments in the world are, like, controlled by the wealthy. And that is what we have here in the USA. We have a plutocracy, also a kleptocracy. Kleptocracy could be even more descriptive because that means the resources are being stolen, which they are. Plutocracy means government by the wealthy. Um, People have also mentioned the word kakistocracy. Kakistocracy. This is not a democracy, right? So it doesn't mean that I won't vote, but it means that I will be very realistic about what voting will do. And local elections, certainly, we can have a lot of power. We can have a lot of power. Well, we can have more power in primary elections. Where there's lower numbers, we actually have more power. And when there's not an electoral college involved, we have more power. The electoral college really steals our power. The other thing that stole the power of our vote was Citizens United, right? Having unlimited corporate campaign donations and foreign lobby campaign donations, that actually decimated the power of our vote. So like we don't have free and fair elections. This is not democracy. This is not freedom. Our representatives don't represent us. I mean, not even close. Whoever felt that merging the military technology with Israel's was even going to be on an agenda? Lawmakers, they work with think tanks and policy institutes. They don't fucking work with the people. Right? The Heritage Foundation is, the think tank that the Republicans work with. And the Democrats have their own institutions and think tanks. Why the fuck did Kirsten Gillibrand, a senator from New York, propose legislation to merge the fucking military? Kirsten Gillibrand, senator from New York. Okay. along with 2, uh, other people, they proposed this legislation. Well, where did it come from? I found out it came fucking directly from Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu had the suggestion, along with another organization, Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. That's who recommended, you know, merging military technology. So we don't make these decisions. We don't at all. They don't even consult us. We don't even get to take a survey that says anything about it. They're lawmakers. They get into Congress. They take money. They enrich themselves. It's fucking disgusting. And then they get to take policy recommendations from think tanks and fascists, billionaires, corporations. So politics is really important to talk about, yes, but we're past the point. I'm going back to what Christopher just said. We're kind of past the tipping point of where electoral politics can get us, right? Like politics generally, we have to talk about housing, healthcare, immigration, education. That politics we will always have to talk about. But whether or not our electoral system can give us any of it is a whole nother question. We have not been taken care of as a society for decades, decades and decades and decades, right? As soon as the human people of this nation started to get more civil rights in the 60s, then in the early 70s came the right-wing fascists with their movement, which they started in 1971 with the Powell Memo. And here we are 55 years later with their Project 2025 in action. Very effectively, as a matter of fact. Let me see what other people are saying. Okay. Chris is saying the Heritage Foundation is the modern mecca of white supremacy. Well said. Margaret Williams is saying they represent themselves. They use technology. Yes, they do. The plutocrats, they represent themselves. Mhm. Through our representatives. Yeah. Hi, Johnny. Thank you for joining. Oh, yeah, Margaret's saying they use their technology against us. Yes, they do. That's another thing you could call us, an oligarchy. What about that? Does that work too, I would say? Donna is saying the CIA gave weapons to the protesters in Iran to get to place where the government could start the war, to make money for all the oil companies, and to fund the war machine. See, that's why I come. People are grounded in reality. Yeah, Margaret's saying our electoral system is corrupt. Thank you. Greta, hi. Greta's saying you got that right. I don't know which part, but I love the affirmation. Okay. Chris is saying when you have policy that is forcing these personal things upon people, it becomes very public and very critical. Great point. Great point. Community is the answer. See, these could be t-shirt slogans. That's a great one, Chris. Okay, yeah, I'm just reading your comments. Feel free to comment. Thank you for interacting. JJ Johnny is saying, beware of EMFs. I don't know what it is. Can you tell me? I don't know what it is. I got a lot of learning to do, you guys. Trust and believe. I need education. I was raised in the US of A. We don't get a good education. Okay? We got people that graduated college, master's degrees, PhDs, and they think the Democrats are going to save us. We have highly educated people who don't understand that we're not living in a functioning democracy. They're just going to campaign for the lesser evil. Today I was thinking about the propaganda because it's always present, but there's some things that get repeated over and over, right? And so, like, one of them is lesser evil, right? And I love to laugh at that because it just doesn't even make sense if you think about it. Like, lesser evil, what is lesser evil? Are there degrees of evil? Isn't just evil is evil, right? Um, so in other words, you're gonna choose evil either way. Literally. Choosing evil either way, and people are excited about that. Lesser evil. I'll go with the lesser evil. Then we got don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. Neither of these parties are good. They're genocidal. So shut the fuck up. Like these saying, and I'm saying that now because I'm not really saying that to a direct person. I would never probably say that. I might, but not. I would just point out, like, listen to yourself. Like, we can't have good things. You guys, we can't have nice things here in the USA. We can't have nice things. We can't have either party that's not genocidal. We can't. It's just pick the lesser evil. It's insane. That's insane. That's insane. And then the other insane part is, again, that there's highly educated people who, like, really don't understand that there's concentration camps and that we can't vote that away. We can't vote away right now the ICE budget because it's already been signed into law, parts of it through September of 2029, which is why they could send ICE to fucking airports when TSA wasn't working because they couldn't get paid, right? How convenient. Let's keep these guys. Let's make sure they get paid because we can send them all around the country. And then they become normalized, people become desensitized, they become more integrated into communities, fulfilling TSA roles or whatever other role they're gonna give them when they defund the parts of our government that are needed, right? So, I don't know what it will take for people to understand that while elections are important, this singular focus on them is actually really harming us because then people really believe that it will change the status quo. God damn, Biden had some real time to work with there. What the fuck happened, man? The the authoritarian MAGA party literally took 4 years while Biden was in office to orchestrate the final push. That's what happened during the Biden's presidency. That's about it. That's actually about it. Oh, I forgot. We lost the right to an abortion, and also the USA and Israel at the UN General Assembly both voted against food as a human right in 2021 during Biden's term. Like, nothing good, I don't think, came from the Biden 4 years. Nothing. Nothing. What? Because some infrastructure got put in there for a couple years, but where's it now? Being defunded, right? So, like, after an insurrection that we all saw, the one administration whose job it was to catch the lead insurrectionists, they didn't do it. They didn't do the most important thing. So, like, I don't have hope in any Democratic administration. I don't. Um, if Kamala or anybody, the DNC had been transparent about election irregularities, I would have a modicum of hope or trust. But now I just think, again, the veil has fully fallen. I won't trust the DNC, the Democratic leadership. I think they are as complicit as Republicans. They just speak more politely and hide. They hide who their funders are. They hide their agendas. They speak one thing and they act another way. I think that's actually kind of fucking worse because It's more manipulative. The Republicans tell you exactly who the fuck they are. They tell you they want a Christian nation. They tell you, they want you barefoot and pregnant. They tell you. You know, the Democrats make great, strong speeches. They use all of the right language, but then when it comes down to their actions, they don't match up. There is literally no fucking good reason to not vote yes on impeachment if you're a Democrat, Hakeem Jeffries. I don't give a shit if it wouldn't have gotten a conviction. It doesn't matter. You have an opportunity to vote yes to impeach the lead insurrectionist who now has immunity and became president again. You have that opportunity 2 times. Al Green brought those articles of impeachment 2 times in about 6 months' time, and the Democrats couldn't even bother to vote in unison to show the American people, this is what we stand for, this is what we believe. I don't care if your vote is gonna actually change the outcome. It's your vote is your voice, right? Your vote is your voice. So if you're not voting for impeachment, then you don't want impeachment, period. You know, I did election campaigning in New York City. I lived in Inwood. By the way, the representative of that area, Northern Manhattan, Adriano Espaillat, it's so beautiful. He was primaried out by a progressive. He was entrenched in there for a long time, and he was very corrupt. Adriano Espaillat. Um, Anyway, I got involved in a primary race there because a lot of the incumbents in that area and a lot of areas in New York City are also like, even though they're Democrats, they're corporate or establishment and they don't really change things. They're not progressive. And I was helping with a campaign of a local candidate against the incumbent. And I knew the guy wasn't probably going to win. It happens all the time. You help people in their campaign and you don't always think they're going to win, but you do it because you believe in it. That's what we do. So when Democrats tell you that because it probably wouldn't have been successful is why they didn't vote for impeachment, that's a fucking lie. That is such a manipulation. That is such mental gymnastics. So, like, all of these again, I'm just going to say it, educated in the American system, people who are registered Democrats, it's like they're blinded. They're mind controlled. I, I was there. I've been there too in my life. I'm not judging, but it's very obvious. And vote blue no matter who, that's going to kill us. It's killed us. Vote blue no matter who is voting lesser evil. It's the same shit. Doesn't matter who they are, as long as they're blue, vote for them. And you know, these binary ways of thinking, they're so easy for people. So it really is powerful. If somebody says vote blue no matter who, that really influences somebody because just tell me what to do. I can vote blue no matter who. Okay, I'm working, I'm surviving, I'm trying to feed my kids, I'm trying to keep a roof over my heads. I can't necessarily follow all the electoral politics, but I heard vote blue no matter who. Okay, I did my duty to society. Meanwhile, fucking blue is bought off by the pro-Israel lobby. Like I said earlier, more so than the Republicans. Donna's saying vote young. Okay, good idea. Get as many people and as many age brackets as possible. Oh, okay. I didn't read the first part of her. Okay. I didn't vote. I didn't read the first part of her comment. Let me go back. Okay. Donna. Until all of the older men that are in the Epstein files are gone in both parties, the Israeli Zionists have them by the balls. Vote young. Okay. Okay. Oh, bye, Margaret. She said, sorry, got to go. Donna, tell me more. Chris, any House member that can do that every day, they must uphold their oaths. That's right. I have to start going back a little further to see the first part of people's comments. Sorry about that. Okay, Chris is saying Representative Ballant was just on a live. I was grilling her about why she hasn't filed articles of impeachment via Rule 9. Any House member can do that. Any House member can do that every day. They must uphold their oaths. Chris, thank you. Fucking thank you. Um, they're not doing even the things that they have in their control. So that's why, thank you. Great point. Like, that's why I won't trust them. Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, right? They're like the minority leaders. It is their job. Along with, like, for example, the whip. Like, there's these different people whose jobs it is to build consensus. Have you ever seen like a good, consistent, like solid consensus from the Democrats like you do from MAGA? You don't see that. And then people say, well, that's because the Democrats, they're very inclusive. They represent a lot of different ideas. No, the fuck they don't. They're neoliberals. They're neolibs. Did you guys ever hear the song by Bo Burnham, How the World Works? It's such a great song. Listen to it today. It's really good. Um, one of the lines is, the neoliberal fascists are destroying the left, right? So he's kind of referring to what we think in our country is the left in our political parties is the Democrats, but they're still actually on the right. I don't know if this is your right. This might be your right. They're still on the right. On the right. They're not on the left. But they're considered to be the lefter party because they're slightly more, they're like a hair to the left of MAGA. Again, people, just because they say they support certain things, if their actions don't match up with them, then they don't really support them. So I'm really asking you to go below the surface of what they say, and look at who funds them and if they're being funded by, let me just tell you, do you know who the top funders of our Congress is? Both parties, corporate wise. I'm sure this won't surprise you. Tech companies, communications companies like AT&T, Comcast, weapons companies, um, top fives, corporate sponsors of both fucking parties. Okay, what's another huge sponsor of both parties? Pro-Israel lobby. By the way, APAC is only a little part of it. You know, there's other PACs and super PACs. So in any case, thank you guys. Thank you for listening to me and hearing me out. Let's see if anybody else has anything they want to tell me. Oh, I see a nice comment here. It's kind of long. Okay. Oh, Jan, so great to see you. I love your comments and stuff. Okay. Jan Oates saying, reading Sarah Kinzier's two books, Hiding in Plain Sight, and they knew, great books, gave me an understanding of our system better than anything leading up to that. And then discovering Aaron Good and his tripartite state analysis of our situation goes even further into the weeds and explains names and dates and details. But essentially, voting is just a something to placate or manage the masses so we don't get to the point of really revolting. And so in the the things of, let's say, sorry. And so the thing if elections were effective, yes, they would be illegal. It really makes sense. I love Sarah Kendzior. She's amazing. I love her books, love her work. I actually find it comforting to finally understand that elections can't do shit for us. Because then I know where to focus. Community organizing, building the community. Oh, by the way, I think some of you know I'm a community organizer. I'm a social worker. And so that's what I've always been doing anyway. It's just that I was also campaigning, community organizing in terms of campaigns. But we can still community organize without, like, the electoral system being involved, right? We can organize mutual aid, we can organize community education, community healthcare, alternative markets, militias, defense, um, media. This is where we have to go. We have to, work together in our communities here and in person, of course, but also online to work outside of the electoral process so that we can, one, survive, literally survive authoritarianism. And then, of course, to overthrow this regime, which could be done through mass movements, like you saw in Albania. I mean, just that, I mean, that the size, right? And the ongoing nature of it, right? Like, we're not there yet. I don't know if we're going to get there. How long is it going to take us to get there? I don't know if we'll ever get there. But we, the people, not through elections, we, the people, we're the only ones who can solve these problems. And so, yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to sign off. My battery is getting low. This was great. I'll be on more. If you want to do a live with me, message me. I would love to do that. And I'll just let you know I'm never giving up. I'm never, ever, ever going to give up. Okay? Promise. See you soon.